Our next guest will have a front row seat for the State of the Union, Senator Tim Scott from the great state of South Carolina. Senator, in the aftermath of what can only be described as the murder of Tyre Nichols, President Biden may bring up police reform. He may call you by name, as presidents like to do on this issue from time to time. Would you refresh our collective recollection on how and who ended police reform the last time it came up?
Well, Trey, we were so close. Since we're in Super Bowl season, I'd say we were in the red zone. We were literally sitting there negotiating, 6 of us. One person on the left said, if you're here to negotiate, I'm walking out. She literally got up, walked out, and got a promotion. So what we know is that they care more about the issue than the solution. I wish they had your book, though, Trey. Start, stay, or leave. If they had your book, maybe they would have made a different decision. Congratulations on your new book, but there's no doubt in my mind that staying at the table would have got things done.
All right. So what kind of speech? Look, what the highlight of the State of the Union for me was sitting beside you, and we kept one another awake, for the most part. For the most part. All right, what kind of speech do you think you will hear Tuesday night? And then what kind of speech should you hear?
Well, I think you'll hear a lot of glossing over of the real issues that the American people are suffering through. If we were going to hear something authentic from President Biden, it would be, American people, I'm sorry. I apologize for record-breaking crime, record-breaking inflation, and record-breaking border crossings. What I anticipate, however, is he will talk about nothing for as long as humanly possible and stop talking. What do the American people deserve? They deserve to be inspired. They deserve to be encouraged. Listen, in the fact, it is true that the American entrepreneur, in the face of this inflation, has continued to hire people because it is the responsibility of the American people, not the government, to create jobs. It's leaders like Kim Reynolds in Iowa who've created school choice where every single child of need in the state will have access to quality education. The beauty of America is our future will not be dependent on the color of your skin, but the quality of your education. That will be your destiny. We can equip kids with that. I talk about the power of hope. Hope being opportunity zones that brought back $29 billion in just 2019 to make sure that we had lower unemployment, lower poverty, and more hope. I would give an aspirational message about what's possible in the greatest nation on God's green earth, and I would back it with the facts.
All right, you mentioned Kim Reynolds, the governor of Iowa. Iowa, if memory serves me correctly, is up near the top of the list in terms of caucuses and primaries in 2024, which means 2024 is coming. Your name appears in almost every article about potential candidates. Whether you want it to or not, it appears in almost every article. How will Tim Scott go about deciding the next step for his life, politically or otherwise?
Well, Trey, the first thing I like to do when facing tough decisions is to go to my good Lord in prayer. I'm a big believer that there is insight that can only be found in prayer. The second thing I believe that everyone should do is to be surrounded by wise counselors. I count you as one of the wisest counselors I've ever had. 8 years in Congress, the one thing I learned from you is the importance of Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens the other. So getting the advice from wise counsel will be incredibly important on however one decides their future. And finally, I would say, remember the importance of the mission, not the title. Too often, too many folks are running for a title. We should run to fulfill the mission. The mission is always about the people, never about the individual. So the more we focus on who we serve, why we serve, not what our title is, the better we are at making decisions. So thank you for being such a wise counselor when we spent 8 years together doing the Lord's work.
Well, we got about a minute, but I want to bring something up. You and I traveled the state
Yes.
talking to pastors and police chiefs. When I think about Tyre Nichols, I see murder. And I don't know that you can train murder out of someone. I mean, that's a hiring problem. That is not a training problem.
Absolutely.
I want to give you, we got about 40 seconds. I want to give you a chance
Yes.
to say, I mean, to me, yeah, we need training. Training would not have saved Tyre Nichols. That was a hiring mistake they made. I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, only the best should wear the badge. One of the parts of the police reform that I've worked on is making sure that we provide more resources so that every municipality has the access to the best and the brightest. That's what I think we have to do, is keep working on that.
I wish Kamala Harris had not put her ambition ahead of what was best for the country. Senator Tim Scott, we'll be looking for you Tuesday night. Thank you for joining us on a Sunday night. Take care.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.